Hi guys, a lot of y'all have been getting in touch with us, asking us a lot of questions about the different strategies that candidates use to clear the CPA examination. Guys, before we talk about the different strategies out there, it is first important to understand what it is that you're actually going to see in the CPA examination. Hi guys, I'm Rushil. I'm a part of the academics team here at Zell Education, and we make a lot of videos on this YouTube channel pertaining to the accounting and finance domain. Without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Guys, as you all are probably already well aware, there is 4 examinations you need to clear in order to obtain your CPA license. The 4 exams are BEC, which is Business Environment and Concepts, FAR, which is Financial Accounting and Reporting, REG, which is simply Regulation, and AUD, which is Audit. Now, each examination will have MCQs, task-based simulations, and BEC in particular has a written communication section. Guys, before we understand more about it, task-based simulations are simply longer form questions wherein you will either need to calculate certain ratios, you will need to do a bit of management or cost accounting, you might probably need to pass some journal entries, and these are the kinds of questions that you see in a task-based simulations. When we appear for a professional qualification such as CPA, it is important to have extremely good verbal communication and written communication, and this is something that is tested in the BEC examination only. Guys, now let's take it paper by paper and understand what it is that you will be seeing in each of these examinations. Let's start off with the BEC examination. In the BEC examinations, you have a total of 62 MCQs, followed by 4 task-based simulations and 3 written communication questions. Now guys, these questions are split into testlets. You will have 5 different testlets that you will need to submit one at a time. So you start off with the first testlet, which contains 31 MCQs. Once you're done with that, you move on to the second testlet, again containing 31 MCQs. The next 2 testlets are your task-based simulations, and your final testlet will be your 3 written communication questions. Guys, when we move on to REG has a total of 66 MCQs and 8 task-based simulation questions split across 5 testlets once again. Guys, the FAR paper has a total of 76 MCQs, again split into the first couple of testlets, followed by task-based simulations. And lastly, audit has a total of 90 MCQs and 7 task-based simulations. Guys, the beauty of the US CPA examination and why a lot of students actually enjoy writing these CPA examinations is that these exams are number 1 dynamic and number 2 extremely practical. When you look at the task-based simulations, it will contain receipts, invoices, and actual real-life companies that you might probably need to analyze or you might need to make calculations on. Number 2, when we speak about the dynamic nature of the examination, let's say that you are not particularly performing well at standard costing. In your second testlet, the exam will test you more on the standard costing topic. So it is very important when we appear for these exams that you are not skipping any chapter, any module within the curriculum. Guys, when we when we give our 10th grade or when we give our 12th grade followed by undergraduation degree in India, we often tend to skip a lot of subjects that we think are unnecessary or might not appear in the exam. This is a strategy you can definitely not follow for US CPA because the exam is an algorithm based exam and it will keep testing you on questions that you're not good at. Guys, on average, the first testlet that you face in the exam is always medium difficulty. You will see easy questions, medium questions, difficult questions, and the general difficulty level of this paper is medium. If you perform well in the first testlet, your second testlet will generally be a higher difficulty. Guys, but this is nothing to be worried about. The way the exam is graded is that if you do well in the difficult questions, you're graded more. So if you're facing difficult questions, it's a sign that you're likely doing well. Most students don't tend to notice the difference between their testlets. So don't spend any time trying to figure out whether your second testlet is a difficult one or a medium one again. And again, if you have not done well in your first testlet, you just need to ensure that you do very well in your task-based simulations, and if it is the BEC exam, the written communication, which will help bridge the gap and help you pass the exam. Guys, one thing to note here is the US CPA exam does not have any negative markings, and like I said earlier, each question is graded differently based on the difficulty of the question. Guys, there's also a concept of operational questions and pre-test questions. Operational questions are simply questions that you're graded on. Pre-test questions are questions that you're not graded on, and the AICPA body has just put it into either test you or test the question for future purposes. However, once again, there is no way you will be able to figure out which questions are operational, which questions are pre-test. It is always recommended, or it is always advisable, that you write every single question, you attempt every single question, and chances are you might just get it right. Guys, the areas of coverage for all 4 papers will be on your screen right about now. This is where you need to put in time when you're studying each of these particular papers. And guys, one thing to note here is the CPA examination tests you on 3 important qualities. The first quality is remembering and understanding, your ability to retain concepts. Number 2 is your ability to apply these concepts or application. And number 3 is analyzing or analysis of concepts. Now, depending on which paper it is that you're appearing for, you will need to put more emphasis on one of these skills. For example, if you're appearing, let's say, for the BEC paper, it is very vital that you know how to apply the concepts. You don't need to retain the concepts for the BEC exam. Now, this might be different for the FAR, REG and audit paper. So on your screen right now is the percentage of the questions that will need you to either retain, apply or analyze questions, and you can go about preparing in this manner. Guys, it is always best if you try and understand the application of concepts and not actually try to retain everything. Don't try to mug up formulas. Understand how the formulas are derived. Guys, the concept of pre-test and operational also applies to your task-based simulations and in the BEC exam for the written communication as well. Once again, don't try to figure out which one is pre-test, which one is operational. This is just information for your knowledge. So if you're worried while writing the exam about not knowing a certain question, there is always a chance that it might be a pre-test question and not an operational question. Guys, on an average, in order to pass the US CPA exam, you need a score of 75. Guys, with that being said, this is everything you need to know about the US CPA examination. In order to prepare effectively, in order to decide which strategy to apply, how to go about with the preparation, I think what you should do is you should get in touch with us. We will help devise a customized plan for you depending on your schedule and the time that you can devote to CPA. And with that being said, guys, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and leave a comment below if there's any questions that you want answered or any suggestions that you may have. Thanks for watching.